This is the new 501st Battle Pack, and today marks the beginning of an alternate build competition between me and a few other alternate builders in the community you guys might be aware of. And this Battle Pack competition has been in the works for quite a while now, and we're still trying to iron out the last few details, so I'll talk more in depth about the competition at the end of the video. And I'll have chapters listed down below, so if you want to skip to the end to learn more about the competition, and then come back to the build, you can go ahead and do so. Just check the description down below. But today, if everything goes according to plan, we have round 1 of 4 rounds, each one using an increasing number of 501st Battle Packs. But today for round 1, we have a micro scale build. We have to use one 501st Battle Pack to come up with the best micro scale build we can. And despite the interesting lot of parts that this set comes with, I was able to land on a really good idea, and without further ado, I present to you guys my Droid AAT. So as I mentioned previously, we were only using one copy of this set, so you really had to stretch the pieces as much as possible to make something you were really happy with. And I've gone through quite a few prototypes and versions of this little AAT, but I think I've landed on overall the best possible one. And I tried to work in and retain as many of the trademark features of the AAT as possible despite being in the micro scale, such as the large saucer-shaped base of the tank, 2 cannons on either side of the main fuselage with a rear hatch to access the imaginary interior space. And then lastly, and most importantly, a large main cannon up top. Now this is the part of the video where I usually say, let's take a closer look at this starting up front. But I can't really do that with this one because we can't really get much closer than this. So we'll just take a look at some of the important details that makes this little alternate build an AAT and how I stretch the pieces from this set to achieve this shape. Now as mentioned, I use quite a bit of slope bricks to create that large saucer base on the ship, as well as the smooth sides that the AAT has leading up to that front hatch here. Now unfortunately I wasn't able to work in some insinuation of a front hatch or a singular stud right in the middle here, but I do think I was able to achieve the overall shaping and the sloping well of the main section of the AAT here in the middle. And I'll go ahead and peel off some of this exterior so we can get a better look at how I made the inside and how I stretched these pieces to achieve the shapes. So as you guys can see, this little assembly just came out, and this is what makes up that front armor plating that would normally be the front hatch on the AAT. You can see I've attached those 2 front slopes onto this little clip piece that's attached to this modified 1x2 with a bar sticking out, and then I'm using a Technic cylinder on one of the open studs to ensure that the front hatch doesn't fold in any more than it needs to, as well as this Technic cylinder supporting the inside roof right here. And this little section can actually be applied without peeling off any other pieces. We're just going to have to re-secure down on the roof so it pushes everything down in place. And then right around all the sloping that makes up the iconic shape of the AAT, we have the 2 side cannons. And this is where I decided to utilize the binocular pieces that were on the end of the minifigure weapons. Without using the minifigure accessory pieces, these side cannons would have just been single barrel blasters, and while that looks alright, it's not quite accurate to the AAT in universe. As we're all familiar with the AAT, on these side cannons there are actually 2 blaster barrels as opposed to 1 singular one. But where we do have a single barrel turret is up top with the main cannon. Now the AAT in universe has this entire circular section up top, and normally that can rotate, allowing for a variety of different angles to hit your targets. And as I'm sure you guys could guess, this set doesn't quite have the pieces that made that possible. I'm sure there's more creative minds in the community that can make that work, but I just couldn't quite figure it out. So despite the entire section not rotating, the barrel still does rotate a little bit, so you can hit a variety of targets in many different positions. With the main connection just being right here with a simple clip attached onto one of those 1x2s with a bar sticking up. And I guess you could say the end of the barrel can also tilt up and down to hit targets, but I don't really think of that as an actual play feature. Behind that main cannon, I used a variety of smooth and angled pieces to try and emulate that perfectly smooth top hatch that's actually seen in universe. And I think I did quite well with the pieces I had left over, especially using the majority of them on the main fuselage here. There's of course a few gaps here or there, but I think overall it looks pretty good. And then lastly, underneath that top turret, we have that imaginary hatch to get inside. And I do say imaginary because while the hatch is real, the interior space is not. And that's of course because the entire structure that holds this entire tank together is housed on the inside there. So it would have been cool to work in a small smidgen of interior space for a micro scale droid. I wasn't able to do it. But luckily I got the hatch in there at least. But let's go ahead and fold that rear hatch back up, and with that pretty much covers everything I did to create this micro scale AAT. Now I hope you guys enjoyed, and before we head into an official outro, I did say in the beginning that some of the details for this competition are still up in the air. So despite me creating this video and submitting this build as my alternate build for round 1 in the micro scale category, some things could still change, including those categories. Currently, there's 4 of us working on this alternate build competition, and it's been a little complicated to coordinate times to have our alternate builds completed by, or our videos uploaded by. We all have personal lives and things to do outside of YouTube, so that's why some of the details are still up in the air and could change in the future. I apologize for how confusing that may end up, but hopefully it's simple enough. And as well, my Kenobi Arc 170 alternate build isn't quite ready, and this little guy is, so I figured I would show you guys this today. With those details out of the way, I believe that completes this video and this alternate build. I hope you guys enjoyed this little build. I don't think I've done too many micro scale builds on the channel, if any. And it was certainly a fun challenge to undertake because I've never built in this scale outside of the channel either. And overall, for my first time building in this scale and the unique set of pieces that come with the 501st Battle Pack, I think I knocked it out of the park. But let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. And as well, if you have any other alternate build or mod video suggestions that you would like me to do, you can leave those in the comments below as well. Other than that, I'll of course have all my other builders linked down in the description so you can check out their channels and their videos when their alternate builds go live. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on subsequent parts and future alternate build and mod videos I post. And if you'd like to support the channel and the alternate builds you see along with it, you can do so by dropping a like on this video, or whenever you're shopping for LEGO online, you can use my Amazon affiliate links in the description down below. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace, fellas.